Sawubona. Sawubona. Sawubona is an African Zulu phrase that means, I see you. I see you. I see you. Why am I talking to you about an African Zulu phrase? Because when I was in my very prestigious acting class, one of the things that we talked about was being there and being here and seeing the person who's in front of you and receiving what they're giving you. I came across this in my research of my acting class, and I also found it to be very important as I researched this particular topic of connection. The thing I want you to understand is that Sawubona is an interesting sounding word, but the reason I'm talking to you about it today is because it saved my life. When I was 14 years old, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, by the way, and I went downtown to an event, and my plan was to be done by 10 o'clock. As things happened, the event went on longer. It was over at 10:30. I was standing around with some people, and we were talking, and they said, "How are you gonna get home?" Because I was 14 years old. And I said, "I'm gonna take the bus." They said, "You can't take the bus. They stopped running 20 minutes ago." There was a stranger in that group of people, and she saw the terror on my face. She saw that I was really frustrated and unhappy and terrified that I was gonna have to walk home. Because I couldn't call my mom, because she didn't even know I was gone. I said again, "I'm gonna take the bus." This person, Joan Allen, said, "No, you're not." She put me in her car and she drove me across the river to my house, which was on the West Bank. And then she watched as I went to the front door and negotiated with my mom about being let in the house. Mom, can you let me in? Why are you out? I thought you were here. Mom, can you let me in? Please, let me in, please. And she waited. This stranger who knew me from no one chose to see me, see my need, and watch as I negotiated this with my mother. The next day, Joan Allen called me to find out if I was okay. I said that I was, and then she called me again to see if I wanted to go have coffee. And she called me again to see if I wanted to have lunch. And she called me again because she saw me. She saw that I needed someone to care because my family of origin did not. I see you is something that Joan Allen has said to me over and over again. When I was 14 was the first time. We've built a friendship. At 17, when my mom kicked me out and I had nowhere to go, she saw me again. She helped me make a plan to figure out what I was gonna do next. When I was 21, I was dating a guy who was so stellar that we nicknamed him Slug. And she saw better for me than I saw for myself. She didn't say he's a bad guy for you. She said, "What do you think? Can you do better? Is he the one?" He most certainly was not the one. She saw me again when I was 31, and I met the love of my life. And he is an incredible man that I would never have known was going to come my way. And when I was 37 and I had a miscarriage, she was there for me again. And she saw me, and she saw that I needed that person to see me. And it was at that point that Joan Allen became my family of choice mother. And she's who I call my mom to this day. And when I say she saved my life, it's really wrong. She made my life. Because now I'm a successful adult, I have a great marriage, I have a great job, and I am inspired every day to see other people. And I think that's something that we've lost along the way. So I feel it necessary to call back to an African Zulu phrase that is pretty ancient to talk about seeing the other person who's right in front of you. This was discussed in a Harvard study by Dr. Robert Waldinger, and there were many data points. But the most compelling one was this. The thing that leads us to happier, healthier lives is good relationships. We used to talk to people about their family. We used to talk to people about their occupation. We used to talk to people about their interest in their location, and there's different ways to interact with people. But now, we're on our phones, we're on our laptops. And yes, I realize someone later is going to be watching this on their laptop or on their phone. Technology is a double-edged sword. I'm sure you've heard many other people talk about that. And there are apps upon apps to help you track what it is that you're doing on your phone and how often you pick it up. And I struggle with this too. I mean, I really feel strongly that the best thing we can all do is be here now, in this moment, what we're doing. Am I with my daughter? It's my job to be with my daughter. Am I at work? Let me be engaged at work. Am I talking to somebody and looking at them and pretending that on their forehead it's tattooed what makes me fascinating? Then be there. Be in that moment. Be with that person. The thing I think that has happened is that we have all substituted digital connection for real connection. Again, digital connection has its place. You could get a text message from somebody and be lifted. How many of you have had that happen? You get a Facebook message from somebody you haven't heard from in a while. Maybe somebody you went to high school with. Maybe you weren't great friends in high school, but through the magic of the internet, you can now be friends, even though they were the popular cheerleader and you were the theater nerd. It happened, believe me. The thing I want you to really understand is that every single one of us has the ability to see the person who's in front of us. Maybe your interaction and maybe your optics in seeing that other person won't save their life or make their life like mine did. But you will never know unless you reach your hand out and you say, "Hi, I'm Jennifer. Who are you? What's your story?" Thank you.